Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here once again. I wanted to talk about COVID-19. I have not spoken about the COVID-19 in Connecticut for quite a while. It's been at least a few weeks, couple weeks, and I apologize for that. But I want to do a little bit of an update from March 4th to April 2nd, which is today, a Friday. I don't know about your state, but I know in Connecticut, we do not track the numbers over the weekend until Monday. We shut down on Friday. We don't report them again. So let's look at the numbers, and I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible because there's a lot of conflicting information, and I'm confused at why there is so much conflicting. You hear how bad it's getting when it's really good, or how good it's getting, but it's really bad. They can't quite make up their minds. So we're going to talk about Connecticut, those who live in Connecticut like myself. I'm not doing a nationwide one at this point in time. Let's just stick with Connecticut. So back in March 4th, we had a total of 284,500 cases. We had 6,874,226 tests, 433 hospitalizations. That's about roughly a month ago. 7,693 deaths. To today's total, you can see April 2nd, 313,956 tests. We have 7,775,688. Hospitalizations, we have 499. And deaths, we have 7,904. So I forgot to put the plus and minus on that one. I don't want to bore you with a calculator and start breaking them down, since I already forgot to do it. So we see the hospitalization has gone up by 66 since roughly a month. And we've seen deaths gone up 211. So, and some months have been slow, and which is a good thing, and other months have been bad. I want to stop for one moment. I just want to say, anyone out there, those of you who have lost someone to COVID or believed to be to COVID, my heart goes out to you. I don't know what else to say. It's a terrible, terrible thing. I have known several people that have had COVID-19. They clearly have all recovered just fine, and they are actually through the age brackets. Well, not the younger ages. I have not known any children with COVID-19. I actually don't even know anybody who knew children with COVID-19, which is weird. They're out there clearly because they never say they are. All right, so let's look at the deaths here. We had, on March 4th, we had 1. So we've gone up by 2. Gone up to 2. That's an odd sentence to say, 2, 2. To the number of 2. So we've added 1 death. We've gone from 3 to 4 on the 10 to 19. Here we go. Between the ages of 20 and 29, we've gone 9 deaths to 9 deaths. No change. 30 to 39, 38 deaths to 40 deaths. 2. 40 to 49 years old, there's 116 deaths on March 4th. April 2nd, we have 124. That is a change of 8. 50 to 59, 386 deaths. Currently 410 deaths, so we've gone up 24 there. 60 to 69, this is where I focus on a lot of, because we were sold the vaccine because we're going to save all the senior citizens, and then we're going to save the kids from the senior citizens and the senior citizens from the kids. A lot of flip-flop information. No, I'm not going to say flip-flop. I think one person flip-flop Fauci. I'm not going to say that, but quite honestly, just go back to everything. You want to criticize Trump? I'm fine with that. I don't think he's the nicest man in the world. Sorry, I'm not far right where I'm like, oh, Trump. Certainly not a fan of Biden. Clearly not. I am a fan, however. Let me get this over here. I am a fan of the Bible, and I am a fan of the apostles. I am a fan of the prophets. I am a fan of Jesus, the Son of God. And of course, I'm a fan of God. So, 60 to 69, 967 deaths on March 4th, and we jump up to 1,011 deaths. That was a plus of 44. 70 to 79 was 1,716 deaths on March 4th, up to 1,768 deaths, which was a plus 52. 80 and over, we had 4,457 deaths on March 4th, and we currently have 4,536, which was a plus 79. So we're going to go to this column here because we're going to notice that what I've said for a long time, and many have said for a long time, this has not changed. And this has not changed. And what I mean by that is the trend is still the same. Less people die with or without the vaccine. Less people die more die percentage rate wise with or without the vaccine. Now, saying percentage wise, let us look at that. We can see the survival rates were 99.99. Now we're at 99.98 from 0 to 9. So we went negative 0.01. The ages of 10 to 19, we went down negative 0.01. And I don't understand. Well, we didn't get to the kids yet. Really? Is that the reason? Okay. You keep telling yourself that. 20 to 29, 30 to 39. Well, you didn't get to all of them either, but that didn't change. It didn't go down. It didn't go up. It didn't go down. 40 to 49. Now we have an uptick. 0.01%. 0.01% survival rate went up. 50 to 59, 0.03. Oh, man, we are just making strides here. 0.03. Whoo! Good thing we got that vaccination rollout because it is just saving lives at an unbelievable pace. Some of you go, are you mocking people surviving? No, what I'm going to say to you is what I've said for a while. The 3 months prior, excuse my sniffing, it's cold down here. I don't have the pellet stove running yet down here we have a area, what do you call it, like finished basement type thing. But anyways, so I'm a little chilly, even in this good weather. What I'm saying is 3 months prior to the vaccination rollout, there was a 3% increase in survival rate per month. So basically, it was like, I got to figure this out now because December 13th, I believe, was a rollout here in Connecticut. So December 13th, the first shot was given. December 13th to December 14th. I apologize if I got the wrong day. I know I'm very close, though. We're talking October, November. So, yeah, September, October, November. So 3%, 3%, 3%. And then the vaccination came. We stagnated. I mean, we hit a plateau. We just stopped. It was like tiny little increases. What happened? If we were making the leaps and bounds without the vaccinations, to me, I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't we make leaps and bounds with it? Not go down. In fact, at one point, 80 over went down. It went down. It was going down. I say to myself over and over again. 60 to 69 were creeping slowly up. They would stay about the same and creep up. But 96.79, that was pretty much in the area. It was 76, 79, 77, 78, right in that area. 89.41, this was back on March 4th. Same thing. It was 89.38, 42, 41. At one point, it actually went to 0.50. Yeah, it went to 50, then it dropped, and then came back up again. And we can see it's back up again. So that it was already there a few weeks ago. It dipped down, came back up, so no big changes there. But now we'll talk about 60 to 69 years old. 0.09% change in survival rate. 0.11 for 70 to 79, and 0.14. So finally, now we're seeing an increase down here of survival rate. But why did it take that dip down for a couple of months? Why did it go down and then up? I can tell you, I don't understand that. I think sometimes they forget what numbers they're fudging and they're making changing numbers around. Wait a minute, Stephen, are you accusing the government, the CDC? I'm not really accusing CDC, but I'll accuse the Connecticut Department of Health, run by Democrats, because some will say I'm just some sort of conservative Republican. Well, here's the deal. Those who follow my videos, if you go back to my other ones, you'll see the resurrection. You'll see the resurrection of people, and then they die again, and they resurrect them again. And it's happened a few different times in a few different areas. So if you have the time, please go back to my other COVID-19 videos, and you will see that it happened. And what I do is to cover myself so no one says, no, that's not true or anything like that. I got these beautiful little smartphones. I don't want smartphones, but I do want smartphones. It's weird. I'm on the fence with them. But it's come in handy because what I do is I go onto these, the Connecticut Department of Health, and I snapshot. The data like I did today. Now I feel like a teenager when somebody's talking to me and, I'm on the phone. Teenagers, I'll tell you what. But I want to bring up the photos in here. So, there you go. So, you can see here, oh, that comes in okay. The glare is pretty bad. But you can see I snapshot the data from the Connecticut Department of Health. So you know that comes from them. These numbers are from them. What doesn't come from them is the percentage change, whether it's went up or down, totals of different areas like this, the change in there. You don't see that on their site, or the survival rate percentages. They don't give you that either. They don't want to. So I tell people they don't lie to you as much as they omit the truth. They just leave a few things out. Just a couple of things. Let's just tell you that there were a lot more deaths, a lot more cases, or positivity rate. That's a big thing for them. Instead of giving you all the numbers. And folks, you can go right to their site, Connecticut Department of Health. It's right there. All the information is there. And I will say to Connecticut, I'll give them kudos. They're one of the easier states. I've done a lot of states. New Hampshire's pretty simple. Vermont, impossible. I haven't looked in a while. Massachusetts, forget about them. I shouldn't say that. I went on a few different times over the last couple months. They are just ridiculous to break down numbers. Then they were only doing it by 2 weeks, and it was a mess, and purposely so. So I want to go back to this here. So what we had is a change in deaths was plus 44 in this month span. So 44 more deaths between the ages of 0 and 59 years old. Now from the ages of 60 and up until, it says over here, it says 80 over, it could be 95, 100, I don't know. I'm going off rails with South Carolina. It's interesting. They have them literally in groupings in over 100. It was like 100 to 102, 104 to 105. I was like, oh my goodness, they're living a long time up there. Where was I? So 175 here. And we know that. We knew that was going to be the case. It's always been the case. Nothing has changed there. Now we see the survival rate has changed. So back on March 4th, we had a 97.29% survival rate. That's fantastic. Actually, it was a little higher than that one time, too, just so you know. There was 1 month where it was actually higher than that. And that was actually pre-vaccine. All right, so April 2nd, we are at 97.48%, which is fantastic. That's awesome. That's terrific. We've gone up. That's where we should be. But please don't fool yourself into believing it's just because of vaccines. I think it's a numbers game. I really do. It comes down to numbers. And I'll tell you why. Because this is something that's been concerning me for a while. I'm not an expert, never claimed to be. I'm just a guy looking at numbers going, that doesn't make sense. I have an inventory background, doesn't make me a genius. I'm not saying that. But I love data, I love numbers, I love breaking them down. It's weird. But I hate math. Go figure. I want to look at this. From 0 to 59. Confirmed deaths. Here's the interesting part. Now we know the total deaths, but confirmed deaths, 601. Probable deaths, 88. What does probable mean? I should have pulled it up on my computer. Again, I'm sniffing. I'm cold. I think I'm catching a little cold. No, I'm not catching COVID. Probable means could be, maybe, possibly. It's probable. It's not guaranteed, but it's probable this happened from this reason. We don't know for sure, but it's probable. I was talking to just only a couple people, not a million people, but a couple people who are medical field. They'll say the same thing. It's probable that caused something. Well, they don't know, but it could have. And why does that matter? Well, it matters to the people who lost someone. It matters to them whether their child or their grandparent died of COVID-19. It does matter what they passed away of. It does matter. And if you don't think it does, then I guess you have less appreciation for life than some of the people who fudge these numbers. Confirmed deaths of over 60, 5,996. Probable deaths, 1,319. Probable. That's 1,300 people. Maybe they died of it. Maybe they didn't. Possibly. It could have accelerated other things. We don't know. But it's highly likely, but not guaranteed. Well, then I say don't put it down. I'm sorry. Don't put down probable. Not only do you panic the family, you panic other people. So they need these numbers for you to panic and be all in on vaccination. Now, I've never been a vaccine guy. But this has made me more anti-vax than ever before. Because when this first came out, it stunk. It stunk. This, right from the get-go, it didn't make sense. But well, sometimes, hey, diseases don't make sense. No, it didn't make sense. And then afterwards, when you find out a lot of things and you look into the past of these, the research and a lot of different things, things didn't add up. But they don't want you to do the research. Just listen to them on the TV. They'll tell you the truth because they've got nothing to hide. They're not profiting off of it. It's not like they're getting commercials or where they're being paid or their bills are paid by other countries or pharmaceutical companies or anything like that. That's got nothing to do with it. They're completely unbiased. Not at all. So I want to try to summarize this and get this done. I'm looking over here to see what my time is, and I can't see. Boy, I tell you, even no glass, I can't see my screen that well. All right. So we see the changes. We see the survival rate's gone up. And I really am concerned about that because if you put that together, 88 plus 1,319, that's 99, 1,407, 1,407 deaths. That's a lot of probables. And now they'll say, well, these you don't know because they have all those problems and comorbidities, and just all those things. Well, there's 88 down here. 0.11, 0.14. That's the biggest jump out of any of the age groups. Kicking my chair over here. That is the biggest jump. 0.14. In a vaccine that's 100% effective. And then, let's be honest, they really put this out here as a miracle drug. They never said miracle drug. They never said the word miracle that I'm aware of. They said a lot of things. I can't keep up on how many different ways they want to go on this. It's not a miracle drug. Science is not a miracle by itself. Miracles come from the Son of God. God. The Lord Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Let us not stress about this because stressing about this has created many other things that are causing stress and anxiety, hypertension. All of this is to take you away from the truth. All of this is to keep you from here. The more you turn to men like Dr. Fauci, the less you turn here. And that is the plan for them. Not my plan. Some of us are not going to go into this one. Some of us are not going to bow down to this. There are people that have survived. I talk to people all the time. All the time. Now, I know several, like I said, have had it that I know have it. Or had it and gotten over it. And then there are those I speak to who knew people who did have it and got over it. I have at this point, and I'm not saying no one has died, I'm saying in my small dealings with folks along the way, every single person that I know who has had it or who has known someone who has had it, no deaths. I'm not saying that there are no deaths. Now let's look at that senior citizen for a second. We have, and I'm doing rough math because I didn't add this up real quick. So 26, 671, 70, roughly 72, 7,300 deaths out of how many? I'm trying to think. The 700,000 senior citizens, something like that. And I forget the number now. I have so many numbers in my head. 46, 61,000 cases. 61,000 cases. Now, in my state of Connecticut, there's 3.5 million people. The population is 3.5 million. We've already had 7.7 million tests. Double the population. We have to realize that people who've gotten senior citizens, and this is just, I'm going by hearsay on this one, of elderly people that I talk to. I'm not going to tell you what I do for a living, but I will say that I have a lot of contact with senior citizens. No, I don't work in a senior citizen home. And they will tell you that people in their age brackets who have gotten the flu before COVID-19 existed seem to die pretty quickly. They had a lower recovery rate. Now, you talk to these people about COVID-19, they'll tell you the same thing now in a different way, that there are people that they've known who got COVID-19 who have survived it at a higher rate. So I don't care what Dr. Fauci tells me. I don't care what the lab guy tells me who hasn't seen a patient in 25 years. I'm going to care about the people who dealt with it. I'm going to listen to the people who have lost people to it. These people who've been around for many generations that have seen these things roll out, they got a pretty good handle on things. Listen up, people. When the elderly tell you, and the majority of the elderly tell you, this isn't what it seems to be, I'm going to believe them. They're not stupid. They've been around the block, so to speak, as the people will say in the old days. They've been around. They've seen a couple things. Thank you for tuning into this video, and I implore you, if you are not saved, please take the time. There is no direction to face. There is no part of the day to ask. Any moment, anywhere, at any time. You ask Jesus to come into your life. You say, please. Have faith in him. Have faith. You just come to him. And I'm trying to think of the best way to say this is just you come and say, listen, I need you. I can't do this anymore. Lord, I need you to guide me through this. I can't do it. I have faith in you, Lord. I believe you exist. I believe you have risen. And that you have never died. And that you ascended to heaven. I believe these things. Don't get caught up in all the books and the pamphlets and all this. You just pick up a King James Bible. Read fervently. Pray continuously. You'll get that. Because all this is to take you away from this. God bless. I love you as usual and as always. And have a beautiful